All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to begin by giving all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and Shalom to you brothers that are laboring and pushing this word in truth and sincerity and with charity. I'm the brother Abraham from the camp here in GMS Chicago, coming back at you with another lesson. This one is inspired by the recent live from Saturday camp from the apostles, and it was something that the elder bishop Sakaran had brought out. He had went to Chat GPT and put First Maccabees 3:48 historical context. All right, because it's important to know these things, right? Especially um, when it comes to these Christians, for example, they claim to be experts in the Bible, but when it comes to the context and the history, root words, prophecy, they're lost in the sauce. Okay, because they haven't been given um, the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and Holy Spirit from above. All right, and the argument they pose always come with time and time again, even though we've broken it down a million times, is the mystery of the Gentiles in the New Testament. Okay, you gotta understand what's going on, because there's a time jump from the Old Testament to the New Testament. All right, and if you don't know what happened during that time, and then you just read straight to the New Testament, there's gonna be some missing pieces to the puzzle that's crucial to understand the New Testament when it comes to the Gentiles that you read about. When Paul went to all these different places, because that was his office, right? To go to the Gentiles, which were Israelites that lost their way, Israelites that adopted the customs and the gods of the other nations, started talking like them, dressing like them, looking like them, speaking like them. Okay, that is what was going on during this time. All right, so this is from ChatGPT, First Maccabees 3:48, and it reads, "They opened the book of the law to inquire into those matters about which the Gentiles consulted the likeness of their gods." All right, it says, historical context of First Maccabees 3:48. This verse is set in the time of the Maccabean revolt, a Jewish uprising against the Seleucid Empire led by Antiochus IV Epiphanes. The main issues at the heart of the conflict were Hellenization. All right, Hellenization. The Seleucids were trying to impose Greek culture, religion, and language on Jewish society, right? So, because at this time, right, in the Greek Empire, they were taking over everything, right? The whole known world at the time, Alexander the Great, all right, leading them and conquering everything around them. Okay, because that's their nature. That's how they were created to be. All right. It says desecration of the temple. In 167 BCE, Antiochus IV desecrated the Jerusalem temple, erecting an altar to Zeus and banning key Jewish practices like circumcision, Sabbath observance, and Torah study. Jewish resistance. This sparked a revolt led by the priest Mattathias and his sons, especially Judas Maccabeus, the hammer. Okay, so during this time, you had uh, Israelite resistance, but you also had Israelites that consented to the Greekish fashions. All right. Let's get first Maccabees in this whole chapter and a few other chapters in this book bring out a lot of information that if you don't know these things and understand the context and the history, you're gonna be lost. All right. So First Maccabees 1 and 11, it says, "In those days went there out of Israel wicked men, who persuaded many, saying, Let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow." All right. Let's put that 1 and 11. Let's see what they tell us. Renegades came out of it from Israel and misled many, saying, "Let us go and make a covenant with the Gentiles around us, for since we separated from them, many disasters came upon us." Internal division among Jewish people as they respond to increasing Hellenistic Greek pressure. After Alexander the Great's conquest, Greek culture, language, customs, philosophy, religion spread across the Middle East. Many elites in Jewish society admired Greek ways and wanted to assimilate, right? So these were the wicked of our people that really, since the beginning, this is how our people were, right? Since we got out of Egypt, the first thing they did was make themselves a golden calf, right? And in the book of Judges, when you read those first few chapters, it talks about how the Lord raised up judges to judge Israel, and when that righteous judge had died, they went a whoring after other gods and the other nations, time and time again. So this is just what our the hard-heartedness of our people. Okay, is they wanting to be like the other nations, right? It says these are Hellenized Jews who promoted cultural integration with the Greeks. They encouraged things like abandoning Jewish laws, building a gymnasium in Jerusalem, making treaties with Gentile nations. These actions were seen by the author of First Maccabees as betrayals of the Jewish faith and ways of life. This right here is are apostates and apostasy, because they left worshiping of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai and the laws, statutes, and commandments, and abandoning that and adopting a new form of religion or worship. And in this case, that of Greekish fashions. All right, it says, verse 11 shows that the real crisis wasn't just foreign oppression, but Jewish collaboration with it. This foreshadows the later persecution of traditional Jews, the Maccabean revolt, which was as much about restoring religious purity as it was about defeating foreign powers, right? It says, it marks the beginning of apostasy, the falling away from the covenant, right? That's what that means, man. All right, you left this for that. All right, these are the wicked of our people, right? It says sets the stage for the conflict between Hellenized Jews and faithful Jews. This was pretty much the confrontation in the New Testament with the Jews and the Greeks, right? The Jews that was faithful, that knew they were Israelites, brought up under the customs and ways, all right, of the law, statutes, and commandments, understood everything, and the Hellenized Jews that left the faith. It says highlights how cultural assimilation can be perceived as a threat to religious identity. All right, let's see. We haven't even brought out I brought up First Maccabees 11. Right, so this gives us a timeline here. First Maccabees 1 and 11, 332 BCE. Alexander the Great conquers Judea, introduces Hellenistic culture to the region, Greek language, customs, philosophy, gymnasium. After his death, his empire splits. Seleucia controls Judea by 200 BCE. Antiochus IV Epiphanes becomes king of the Seleucid Empire. Alright, ambitious and aggressively promotes Greek culture and religion across his territory. Alright, 170, 167 BCE. Hellenization of Jerusalem. Renegade Jews encourage assimilation. A Greek-style gymnasium is built in Jerusalem. Some Jewish men undergo surgical reversal of circumcision to participate in Greek athletics. So a reverse of circumcision, they sewed their foreskin back on just so they can be like the Greeks more. That is insane. Apostle Roundlot has brought that out before. Jewish leaders make a covenant with the Gentiles, abandoning key elements of the Torah. Alright, Antiochus outlaws Judaism. Jewish practices like Sabbath keeping, circumcision, and Torah study are banned. The temple is desecrated. An altar to Zeus is set up, and pigs are sacrificed there. Abomination of desolation. Alright, so then you have the revolt by Judas Maccabeus. They retake the temple, it's rededicated, and that is where you get the feast of Hanukkah. Okay, so would you not think that this is pertinent and crucial information to know from the history, secular history in the scriptures, to understand the mystery of the Gentiles in the New Testament, right? And you can read all about that in the story in the book of First Maccabees, Second Maccabees, all right? But I'm going to continue reading on. This is verse 12 in First Maccabees 1. So this device pleased him well. Then certain of the people were so forward therein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathen, whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem, according to the customs of the heathen, that gymnasium, and made themselves uncircumcised, and forsook the holy covenant, and joined themselves to the heathen, and were sold to do mischief. Right? So just like we read from what ChatGPT gave us, all this is here. All right. Yes, a lot in this first chapter. This is verse 41. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people, and every one should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Yet many also of the Israelites consented to his religion, and sacrificed unto idols, and profaned the Sabbath. For the king had sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, that they should follow the strange laws of the land, and forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple, that they should profane the Sabbaths and festival days, and pollute the sanctuary and holy people. Right? Then they stopped circumcising their children, and then you have generations and generations and generations of this continuing on. And mind you, this is from the Greek Empire. When Yahushua came on the scene, it was already the Romans that was established. So that's think about a couple hundred years of from the time of the Greeks to the Romans, if I'm not mistaken. So imagine that. All right, now we find ourselves in a similar situation in which we're in America, speaking English, right? Following, obviously, when we were growing up, we didn't know we were Israelites. We thought we were American, and we're celebrating 4th of July and Christmas and all these holidays they celebrate here. All right. Some of us are, Southern Kingdom, Northern Kingdom, speak Spanish. All right. And that's goes to show you how much we've lost our way. Okay. So let's get that first, or 2 Thessalonians 2:3. It says, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. So the end is not going to come, right, except there come a falling away first. That's the apostasy. When you go into that falling away, it goes into apostasy. Okay. Defection from the truth. Falling away, forsake. And that's us leaving the faith and following something else. And our people did that time and time again, right? But now, starting with the elect are returning, singing him 10 times more. All right, calling upon him. and he's hearkening unto them, hearing their prayers, and he will deliver them, all right, in that day. But there's so much more that history, but this is just like in a general painting a picture generally of how things were at the time. And if you don't know this, then you're not gonna understand. Okay. But I'm gonna go ahead and let there. Lord willing, this video was edifying. As always, all honor, glory, and praises goes to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Until the next time, Shalom.